Mary Control Jib. Oh, hello, and welcome to the lobby. GameSpot's weekly hangout every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific, right here on GameSpot.com. Just walks away. Jib's still moving. Yeah, it's gone. It's our last show here on floor 3.
Floor 3.
Yeah, so we decided let's bring
in the big guns for the last show,
the
right?
Jib's back.
Yeah.
Now reminding us why we don't use the jib anymore.
Yep.
You got it back? You put it back? Yeah?
There you go.
Look at this lovely
Okay.
set. This is going to get torn up in a mere minutes, in about an hour's time.
This is the farewell, right? Of
the set.
One.
The lobbies, we got 2 more lobbies left this year.
Yep.
We're going to be taking a little bit of hiatus over January,
Yep.
and we'll be back next year. But yes, this is the last one on this floor. And this is the same floor and the same set that On the Spot was done over there when Chris was hosting all those years. Before that, when Rich Gallup was doing it, was on this wall here.
There's so much history, GameSpot history.
A lot
We're
of
just
GameSpot
torching.
history. Yeah,
right?
What is that, like 15 years worth probably?
Yeah.
Easily?
Like, we don't care. Right?
Speaking of old things, Randolph Ramsey's on the couch.
What a segue. Thank you for that,
You got less grey hair than me, you can't complain.
I do?
You're here.
They just
I think
stand out
so.
more in my head.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
It's because it's gorgeous and dark.
Don't focus on it. But anyway,
Okay. Sorry, you're here because we've got you got a lot of shit to do tomorrow.
We do. So I'm here to talk about our Game of the Year awards for 2015, which we are kicking off officially today, December 1st. We've got actually a pretty big significant change to how we used to do things before. So in the past, we used to do, our platform nominees. We have a winner for each one. Then we used to have, a Game of the Year nominees and a winner for each one.
Yes, lots of repetition.
Lots of repetition across that. And at the end of the day, we kind of ended talking about the same 5 or 6 games over and over again.
Last year was every topic ended up being, is it Dragon Age Inquisition?
Or
is it Shadow of Mordor?
That's right, yeah.
And in fact, we kind of decided the platforms and that kind of not automatically, but there's an element of like, is that the de facto Game of the Year now?
Well, yeah, exactly. Because if you pick, Xbox One, Shadow of Mordor, like all things being equal, that should be the best game on PS4 as well and on PC as well, right? So anyway, the change we're making this year, the big change we're making this year is we're doing a top 25 games of the year.
Across all platforms?
Across all platforms. We're going to count it down from 25 to 1. And, in that way, we're able to talk about a lot more games, right? So we were able to, highlight some of those other games that, may not have been the biggest AAAs or the ones that, you and I happen to play a lot in the office, right? So, we think it's actually going to, help give readers, a broader perspective on 2015 and all the great games that were there. We're not completely abandoning platforms, so, we're still going to have a best Xbox One games list. We're going to have 5 sort of like finalists. We're not going to pick a winner.
Okay.
So we're sort of seeing those as, like a buyer's guide, right?
Like these are the top 5 games on this platform, this platform, this platform.
That's right. And then you stick to the 25 to 1 list to see which order you actually should play those games. So all that stuff is kicking off. The landing page for that should be live very shortly after the show finishes today.
The report cards are starting this week?
The report cards. So the first piece of content that we're doing is a report card on all the major consoles. So we're kicking off with Xbox One, how that did in 2015. And then we're doing PS4, Wii U, and PC platform later in the week. Early next week, we're going to do the year in review in news, and then from then on, we're going to actually start counting down our games.
Yeah, loads of videos, and looking forward to 2016 then, and sort of at the tail end of our Game of the Year stuff.
All sorts of things, and the best things about this is all the debates, civilized debates.
Starting tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow, we are all going to sit down as a group, an editorial group, and fight. About what those games are actually going to be.
This year's going to be so hard because last year there was a lot of discussions over Shadow of Mordor and Dragon Age. Man, this year.
You know what? What do you have? You have just in the last few months, Fallout. You've got AC Syndicate. Over the last year, you have Metal Gear. Bloodborne. Witcher 3. I know a lot of people love Rocket League. As well. So
a lot of Rocket League love here.
There is going to be a lot of heat, I think, around trying to figure out what order all those great games.
Especially because there's 25 on the list now.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to tell me Rocket League's better. Is City Skylines better than that? Maybe not.
It could be a headache tomorrow, Danny. Yeah.
I mean, the
we'll
Taken
figure it out.
thing. Look at a game like Destiny. It's like that's even had a resurgence in 2015.
Exactly.
I'm just getting my early votes in. I'm just planting the seeds.
Yeah,
so tomorrow you're like,
you'll be excited tomorrow when you see that list of what we've voted for so far, and we try and break it down. I think you'll find some surprises there.
Man, it's gonna be a nightmare. Let us know what you think, of course, in the chat and in the comments below. What is your favorite game of 2015? What should be number 1? What should be number 25 as well? That's gonna be super interesting. Randy, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Danny.
Really appreciate it. Before you go though, we got a bunch of stuff on today's show. Lots of reviews dropped this year. Perhaps I guess the last reviews of the year of 2015, at least some of the biggest ones. So we've got some of our GameSpot editors on to talk about those. But before we do that, we've also got a competition running throughout the show, and we do a lot of competitions on the lobby, most of which aren't actually happening during the show. This one is only for people watching live. So on the lower third there, you can see hashtag the Fall of Reach. You can win the Fall of Reach. Who knew? Accurate hashtags. Tweet at GameSpot with hashtag the Fall of Reach for a chance to win. We have 10 of these, I believe. It's the Blu-ray of the Fall of Reach, which is available in stores and also, I believe, online. I think I've seen it when I was browsing Amazon during the week as well. It also includes a free Halo digital comic inside, so you can probably not actually in there. Digital comic, like they said, digital. It's probably a PDF. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a bunch of JPEGs, BMPs. I mean, it's a Blu-ray. They don't even care about
they don't
compression.
They don't care about that.
Yeah, whatever. It's a bunch of BMP files. So make sure you get in on that. We're not announcing winners during the show, but people will be reaching out via social media for that. So we'll be back in a second. Scott Butterworth's going to join us to talk about Rainbow Six Siege. But first of all, let's check out a trailer for that Halo thing I was just talking about. Halo.
You are hereby conscripted into UNSC Special Project codenamed Orion 2.
We destroyed the Vostok and Arabia in under a minute.
We're the best possible option. Your only option. Blue team is ready.
Hello, welcome back to the lobby. 2015 has been a fantastic year for video games, and this week we've seen the launch of a bunch of great games, some of which we have been playing in beta for what feels like most of 2015.
There have been 7, 13, 14 betas, something like that. Yeah.
One of which being Rainbow Six Siege.
Many of which. Oh, I meant for Siege specifically.
Sorry, yeah.
That was just Siege. There were 25 or 6.
We're talking about all the betas.
Right, yeah. Then the number creeps up a little bit.
Scott, you reviewed it, you were in the process of reviewing it for GameSpot.
Yeah.
Aaron, of course, we've had you on loads over the years. You've been playing a bunch throughout the various alphas and betas. Scott, first of all, just before we sort of get into the thick of it, we have a review in progress up on the site now. Why is the full review not on GameSpot yet?
Yeah, well, if people follow the point, which they absolutely should, you talked about embargoes just a couple weeks ago, and this is one of those instances where Ubisoft had set an embargo saying, hey, this is when you can start posting impressions and stuff like that, and in situations where we know we're going to want to test the actual live servers and see. I mean, Siege is a multiplayer-focused game.
Yeah.
It exists online. That is the way to play it. So unless we can confirm that it actually functions properly, unlike good past example would be the Master Chief Collection.
Yes.
It didn't work right.
This time last year, it was 3 weeks after the launch of the game, and it was still not working.
Yeah. So we want to avoid situations like that. So when there's an embargo and there's a game that needs to be tested online, we will generally put up a review in progress just to let people know, hey, here's why we don't have a full review. If you're seeing it on other sites, if you're seeing other people post impressions, here's why we don't have a full scored review. We're waiting, we're testing things, primarily the servers, but there are other factors as well, like pacing of the progression and other things like that.
Yeah. Aaron, you were going to say something.
Typically when we go to review events, they set up an ideal situation where we're all sitting in a room with perfect servers and everything works great.
Yeah. Joe's network.
Yep. Yeah, I've played Rainbow Six Siege today on both PC and PS4, and I've actually encountered a lot of bugs that I ran into in the beta, like getting stuck crouching and having to go prone to get out of it, and rubber banding, and a number of things that I'm not sure if it's just a day one launch issue, but again, they're the kinds of things that we didn't see at the review event, and today I've had a lot of brokenness. That being said,
does it feel like it's network related?
What the game communicates to the player, and I can't confirm this entirely, but I think it's hosted on somebody's machine. So it's dependent probably on the connection to that person's machine being good.
So does it seem like some games are running better than others?
Perhaps? Yeah, it's very inconsistent. When everything works, on a high level, when everything works in Rainbow Siege, it's one of my favorite games so far this year, just because I haven't had a game that's really got my heart going like that in a long time.
Yeah. the tension when it works is pretty incredible.
Speaking quickly, I guess, just you've got it's like the most thankless job in the world is reviewing, especially a game like this, because not only do you have to account for the quality of the game and also its technical issues, but you can only ever witness your technical issues. I remember like some people, post reviews of games and they don't have, like for instance, we had Jeff Gerstmann on the show for Fallout a couple of weeks ago, who had really bad problems on consoles. I played 30 hours, I think, or 20 hours maybe of Fallout 4 on PS4 and hadn't encountered anything like he was playing. So are you experiencing the same stuff Aaron is? Is it?
No, actually.
Really?
My experience today, at least, has been pretty smooth. I've been playing on PS4 all morning, so I think Aaron was primarily experiencing issues on PC from what he's told me.
Although the getting stuck bug was PS4, and a guy on the chat told me how to get out of it, so he'd clearly had the same problem.
Interesting. Yeah, I've absolutely run into this before in past reviews. I can't think of a good example off the top of my head, but I've definitely had encountered situations where I wrote a review, published it, and the comments are all, what about this bug? What about this bug? I'm like, it never happened to me. I don't know what to tell you. So I am trying to be mindful of that. I am talking to other people about their experiences with the game. I am trying to see how often those sorts of issues come up, how consistent they are for other people. I mean, if it's just a one-off for a single person, maybe not worth mentioning in the review. If it's something that everyone besides me is experiencing, probably worth bringing up.
So we'll get to that, I guess, in the review when it's on GameSpot. I'm guessing later this week sometime.
Yes, hopefully end of day Wednesday, maybe early Thursday, something along that. It depends on how quickly I'm able to progress through the game. Again, progression is another thing that I really want to test, and it seems like relatively slow to unlock new stuff. Although I was originally told that you could only play PvP after reaching a certain level. It turns out there is actually a casual PvP mode that's available from the start, so that's good to know.
But
you can jump in and just play online.
Ranked PvP?
Ranked is locked.
It's it's basically their hardcore mode is what they're saying.
Right.
Although I haven't
So you
noticed
have to eat food and sleep properly.
It does remove a lot of like in-game help. Like, in casual PvP, you have a grenade indicator. Like, hey, a grenade just flew past you, and it'll be blinking and let you know that you should move. But in ranked, that will not be there. And there are other.
So are they trying to like limit people getting into ranked who shouldn't be in ranked?
The game has the game can have a pretty steep learning curve if you haven't played the betas before. It's a very tactical game, and like people who've played for a while are going to know a lot more than you do.
Yeah, lots of different characters, lots of like nuance and attack.
Yeah, there's a lot to know.
Like, I think their intention was to have you play through their situations, which is basically like training. That's enough to get you up to 5 operators unlocked. And then
of the 20 total.
Of the 20 total. And then you can play Terrorist Hunt. That'll start getting your renown credits up.
That's the co-op single player kind of
Correct,
aspect.
yeah. It's your team versus a set number of AI, or potentially an infinite number of AI if you have to go in and disarm a bomb.
So are those the 2 single player aspects of the game? There's the sort of the training situation stuff, and then there's the Terrorist Hunt. Is that it for sort of AI single player
Yeah,
stuff?
you can play Terrorist Hunt on your own, although it's really designed for co-op. The only truly like single player only portion of the game are these situations, which, I mean, it kind of borders on a campaign. Like, had there been more like directed moments and sort of unique gameplay moments injected into the experience, and had there been more story tying it all together, it would have basically been a campaign. Like, they're pretty robust for like just calling them training missions. Kind of undersells what they are.
Well, I mean, it's a $60 game, so you kind of think let's have some.
It does feel like there's a bit of a hole.
In here,
It could have used
strange.
a full campaign,
like,
I think.
They put a ton of effort into making these operator videos for each one of the operators cutscenes, which you're going to watch one time. It feels like if they just put that energy into making cutscenes for the situations, they would have had a campaign.
Yeah,
right.
And
like
there's a germ of a story in it. I mean, the intro to the game, like the cutscene you watch when you first put the disc in, talks about basically the creation of the Rainbow Six, like what Rainbow Six is.
Ding Chavez.
If nobody remembers, yes, this was originally a Tom Clancy novel. Like, there is actually like a universe here that you could draw from to create an actual story, and the opening cutscene hints at that. But then the rest of the game doesn't really touch on it. It's like you could have, like, there was room for a narrative. You could have done some stuff, but then again, who knows? Plenty of people who play Call of Duty are like, I haven't played a single player in years.
Exactly.
So it's like, where do you focus your resources?
So let's talk about the actual multiplayer itself.
Yeah,
Let's talk about the shooting. What are the modes? How does it play? Does it have longevity?
So the most important thing to know about Siege, especially the PvP, is it's very kind of unforgiving. It's set up in a very deliberate manner. There are no respawns. You've 1 life per round. That's it. It's no more than 5 versus 5. So it's a very controlled and particular setup. There is no straight like run and gun respawn team deathmatch.
It's more of a Counter-Strike than a Call of Duty.
It's even more tactical than Counter-Strike. I mean, it's very deliberately paced. I mean, every round actually opens with a sort of planning phase where defenders will be able to set up traps and sort of fortify their position, and attackers will be able to use remote-controlled drones to scout out and find objectives. And Aaron and I have been talking about how crucial that phase is. I mean, it sounds a little dry, like, oh, you're driving a drone around, you're going to, mark your enemies and all that kind of stuff. But seriously, it's such a crucial time saver. If you know where your objective is before a round starts, you're not kind of running around aimlessly. You can actually plan with your teammates what you're going to do and how you're going to infiltrate.
One of the things
it's very tactical.
One of the things that will give this game longevity, I think, is just the variety of stuff that can happen in a round.
Right.
For starters, there's a lot of maps. There was a ton of maps that we didn't even see at the review event. And that's fantastic.
How many are we talking? Like 15 or so?
It was pretty much almost every map from the situation I've seen
so I mean,
far.
minimum 10. It seemed like there might
I think
actually be
it's
more.
all the maps we've seen in beta plus maps from situations. And then each one of those maps has multiple locations, multiple times of day.
Right.
And then just like tactics will switch. We played against a team where they just love to like lay down in corners, and we figured that out.
Yeah.
And then they had to like switch up their whole tactics. So
That's the great thing. It's all about moves and counter moves. Like once you figure out your opponent's strategy, you can react to it, and then they have to react to a reaction.
Right.
And it's great that it actually allows for that kind of creativity and strategic depth. I mean, it's not just if you just run into a room and try to gun people down, you're probably going to die. And it's so great that there's, again, room for creativity and also mind games and things like that. Like you can bust out boards and, you can fortify a door. And then if you bust out one board, you can potentially trick the other team into thinking that you're just crouched waiting for them and use it as a distraction. Or you can like set up a breach charge on a door you're not actually going through and then detonate it remotely and come in another way. And there are all these different techniques that you can employ to give yourself an advantage. And it's great that you're given the tools and given the opportunity to actually do all that stuff rather than just, again, mindlessly run and gun.
the game also has something that is so neglected in so many multiplayer games, which is mixed mode servers.
Right.
Like mixed mode just adds so much longevity. You don't know you don't know if you're going to be defending a bomb, attacking a bomb, a hostage. Like,
Yeah, you're right. That is
Yeah.
weirdly fallen out of vogue in the past couple of years.
again, Battlefront was a perfect game where like Battlefront threw everything against the wall in terms of modes, but then they didn't have a mixed mode server. So every 4 maps, you just got bored and had to go search for something else to do. By having mixed modes in this, it just adds so much variety to what you're doing.
And the operators and all their gadgets as well. So each of the 20 operators has a unique item or ability that they can use, and that helps to create variety as well, especially since you have to unlock them, and it does feel kind of earned when you have to pick and choose and very gradually earn new characters and new abilities.
Okay, my last question on this, because it sort of comes into the, when people are asking, is this a game I want to play? The amount of single player stuff and multiplayer stuff is obviously important. Another thing, especially with multiplayer shooters, is this the type of game where you really should be playing with 4 of your friends, or is it fun enough playing with randoms?
That's part of what we're figuring out. I mean, I was talking with somebody earlier today. Like, I don't think you can hold a game accountable for its audience. I mean, you can't be like, oh, the player base sucks, therefore the game is bad. But
if the game isn't enjoyable,
if a game is built to be team-based, it is the game's job to equip players with the tools they need to effectively communicate, to educate players how to use those, and to incentivize or entice that type of gameplay. I mean, if you're built to be a team-based game, you need to make players play that way. Give them a reason to play that way, and give them the ability to play that way.
Like, it may be a simple version of it, but you can imagine a version of Rocket League, for instance, which didn't educate the player in those ways needed via like the chat stuff and via just like the way you can center the ball and that becomes like a focus. That type of thing is crucial to a game being fun, especially when playing with random people, right?
The best experience is definitely going to be on mic with a good team, or just at minimum on mic, simply because there's things that you can't communicate, such as reinforce this wall. Like, I put armor over here. Hey, don't blow up that wall, we need it. Or don't reinforce that wall, we need it.
These very are things, contextual, very specific.
These are things that the game doesn't have tools for you to communicate without just getting on voice chat. So, finding a good group of people, like when you play with good people, just friend up with them. And that'll be the best, because
it makes a huge difference to the people you're playing with. And I so far I've had pretty good experiences. And again, you can't necessarily hold the game responsible for that, but if you have the option to play with people or at least people who care and have microphones, do it. The game is way better when you have those people playing with you.
Excellent. Scott and Aaron, thank you so much for coming on. Get out there and keep playing more Rainbow Six Siege, because we need to get that review up on the site. Best of luck with that. And thanks so much for coming on and talking about it.
Of course.
Let us know what you think of Rainbow Six Siege. Have you been playing the beta? Are you playing on PC or on a console? Let us know in the comment box below. All right, we'll be back in a second. We got a bunch more video games that came out this week to talk about. But first of all, here is a trailer for Europa Universalis 4. It's the Cossacks.
Hey Defenders, this is Alex Palefko. I've got the rundown on the Loot and Survive patch for Dungeon Defenders 2 on PS4. Wipeageddon is coming. You have to make sure to check out how to get rewards for playing before the wipe on DungeonDefenders.com. In Onslaught mode, you'll have to survive wave upon wave of enemies to earn unique rewards. Once you hit level 40, you'll unlock Nightmare modes 1 through 4. It's a pretty intense challenge. You'll need some good loot. We've made some improvements to the hero deck, and you can now get your heroes to level 50. And in the campaign, we've added a bunch of cool mini-bosses. There are 2 new costumes for the monk. The Tigwar Monk with some sweet upgrades, and Captain Monk. And if you're looking for something new for your apprentice, check out the Farm Boy Apprentice costume. He took No Shave November pretty seriously. There's a monthly and daily mission system, and this month is actually my favorite pet reward. It's the Gato Thundero. And speaking of pets, there are these awesome activatable abilities where if you evolve your pet, you can see what ability it has and then use R1 and hit X to activate the ability. Concerning loot, we've done a complete stat revamp for the game. We've moved some core stats like defense speed to passives and added new core stats like defense critical hit and defense critical damage. Rarities like epic and legendary are actually rarities now and not tiers, so you really need to hunt that 850 legendary. Thanks for checking in, Defenders. Be sure to go to DungeonDefenders.com for the patch notes and more information on Wipeageddon.
And that new Europa game really looks like Dungeon Defenders.
I did not expect it to look like that.
Who knew? Who knew? That is not the 4th Europa Universalis at all. That's Dungeon Defenders. There is a launch trailer for Europa Universalis for the Cossacks on GameSpot.com though, so if you want to go check that out, knock yourself out. Peter Brown's here.
What up?
You've been playing a video game for extended periods of time in the GameSpot office for the past number of weeks. The review is finally out. For folks in North America, they can finally play.
And what's the game?
Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yes.
Yeah?
Or Cross.
Or
There's
Cross.
Xenoblade Chronicles Cross.
Xenoblade. Name it how you want. 8 out of 10 on GameSpot.com.
Yeah.
Tell us about it. What did you enjoy out of all of the hours you played? How many hours did you play actually, first of all?
65.
Okay.
And there is a lot more to see in the game. I mean, it is, well, for one, it takes place in a massive world that's got about 5 continents that are, like, we say games are big these days. This is really, really big. Like, I could spend hours on a single continent and I remember, I'm only looking at 20% of this game right now.
Yeah.
But in that space, it also has a lot of quests and a lot of opportunities to earn new gear, make friends, and ultimately you unlock massive mechs that transform into this vehicle you see on screen right now. And I mean, it is a huge game that is it's a technical masterpiece, especially on the Wii U, but even, I think, you know, if you look at other games on other consoles, it's impressive how this manages to have such a big world. But
so let's talk about, I guess, the earlier parts of the game, because from what I was talking to you last week, this very much seemed like the mech was something that you reached after, say, 50 hours or 40 hours of the game.
It's not quite that bad.
Okay.
But yeah, your first 30 hours are spent on foot as a human, you know? You are a guy or a girl, and you team up with 3 other soldiers, and you essentially, you're trying to explore this planet that you've crash landed on. You don't know what's out there, and you're trying to find a thing that will ensure your survival. And in doing so, you encounter gigantic monsters and things like that, and it's a really wonderful, like, surprising experience. Yeah,
that guy?
I will get to him in a second.
Okay. It's Elton John.
So, I mean, this is really a game about exploration and combat, and it has many, many layers of systems and subsystems in it. And unfortunately, at the start, a lot of how those things work together is pretty ambiguous. The game will introduce a concept and then just sort of leave you to go do whatever you want it to do without really giving you many examples of how it works. Now, I'm not saying that it necessarily needs a tutorial to explain everything, but I had to go to the in-game digital manual to figure out a lot of stuff.
Right.
It's very difficult to understand the intricacies of everything involved in this game.
Is that the sort of thing where if you had played previous games, you might have a tighter handle on, or is it?
Well, maybe, but I played 100 hours of Xenoblade Chronicles on Wii.
Oh, really?
And even then, I was lost because there are so many things that are brand new here. So many little things that have to do with gear and skills and sort of managing your relationships to the military that you're a part of and working with the different divisions inside of it. I mean, there's a lot to juggle.
Lots of different quests. There's obviously the main quest stuff. There's all this like affinity side character-based quests as well.
Yeah, and this was something that was a huge part of the last game. But so yeah, you have main quests, you have side quests, which are just simple. You walk up to someone, they give you a quest. But these affinity missions, as they're known, are used to sort of form a web of relationships. And how you manage those relationships can influence how other missions open or how certain people react in certain situations. I found, because you have to find someone in the right location at the right time of day to even get the mission.
Right.
And then they have all these prerequisites, and they tell you to go to places that you've never heard of. Like, there's a big base that you have to explore, and out of necessity, you go to some places. Curiosity will take you to other places, but if you're busy in the field fighting, because that's what you want to do, you're not going to know where to find Derek in the commercial district at noon. I mean, it leaves that up. So affinity missions are a good idea that I think don't work as well as they should.
Right.
But yeah, the side quest stuff and exploration in general, and most of the story missions are really good. They encourage you to explore, and that exploration is great.
What's the combat like? I know a lot of the game is about exploration, but ultimately it's also about shooting stuff. Lots of crazy beasts and whatnot on this world.
Yeah, I mean, this game captures what it's like to be in a prehistoric environment better than any game I've played. So yeah, you control.
Have you played Orion Dino Beatdown?
No, I guess I'm not prepared to speak about it then. Yeah, so a team of up to 4 characters, and you only control one at a time. It's a real-time combat system. You have one ranged, one melee weapon, and you can choose from a few different classes that specialize in different types of offense and defense. And you don't have to play as the main character, the avatar you create. You can play the supporting characters as well if you choose, but you can only have one at a time, and you have to sort of reorganize the party. One problem I do have with combat, while it is really exciting and can be really great, healing is something that is, I think, too complex. Where in most RPGs, you either have a healer class or someone who can at least use consumable items to heal you. In this game, you rely on a system known as soul voices. So let's say my health drops below 20%. I can then set something to happen when that condition is met. Maybe it's healing, maybe it's something else. So at that level, that makes sense. But the game throws a QuickTime event at you in those instances, and you have to react very quickly in most cases, and healing isn't always something that you have total control of, which I don't really love. But,
it sort of punishes you at the most difficult parts of the game.
Well, it's tough to say because there were plenty of opportunities where I was fine with it. Rarely I felt like, man, I hope something happens that can heal me. It could have been a common battle where I just slipped up. It could have been a big battle. It didn't define the combat experience, but it was one of those things where if I had my way, I would have used a potion and just healed myself immediately.
Some of the best stuff we're seeing here is with the, or most interesting footage-wise, is this awesome mech transforming into, I guess, what looks like a motorbike or whatnot. Talk about that. Does that change the game fundamentally? Is there much diversity in terms of the types of mechs that you can take hold of?
Okay, so like I was saying, the game is gigantic. Think bigger than any game you've played before. And you're a human, right? Then all of a sudden you are in a 40-foot robot. The giant, odd, deer dinosaur that was towering above you, you now look in the eye. I mean, it changes your relationship to space and, in that way, time, if the two are relative, as you're going about this world and trying to find things, discover new places, engage with enemies that initially you looked at as, nope, I'll never be able to fight that in my life, but wow, it's crazy. Now you can say, I'm going to go kill it and see what it drops.
Wow.
And that's great. And you can have a team of up to 4. Mechs are pretty expensive in the game. You have a good way to earn money by exploring and planting these things that mine the earth, and you can set up that system. It's really complex. And so you can afford more skells, as they're called. And
Skells?
Skells. They were called dolls in Japan, but I guess that didn't translate properly. Fair
enough.
Well, who wants to say I play with dolls?
I don't know. I feel like if you're already deep into playing Xenoblade, who cares? In for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah. I mean, mechs are one of the few things that are just amazing about this game. And the
looks gorgeous for a Wii.
That's what I'm saying.
Not to but there's a certain art style which seems to lend itself on Wii U, and it's not this.
No.
But this looks pretty great, actually.
It's great, yeah. And again, getting your mechs so late, you've become so comfortable in your relationship as just being a small person that when you get this, it is just like, I'm in a whole new game. Like, this just feels all brand new. And they have 15 pieces of gear that you can upgrade, change, mod, add augments to, all this great stuff. It's for someone who loves details and tinkering, there's no shortage of stuff to do.
A great little surprise for the Wii U at the end of 2015. It seemed like sort of a solid start in medium, and it seemed to be floundering there for a while. We've had a couple of, between Mario Tennis and the Amiibo Festival and maybe Yoshi as well. It hasn't been super, super strong. This is a nice kind of ending to 2015 for the Wii U.
This and Super Mario Maker are the best things to come out of Nintendo in the past few months, for sure.
Awesome. Peter Brown, thank you so much for coming on.
Always.
Thank you so much for playing Xenoblade. The thankless job of being a reviews editor for a big website and also trying to wrangle Game of the Year stuff, and then you had to play 65 hours of this game on top of it.
It was a privilege. Xenoblade Chronicles is an amazing game that I hope people buy Wii U's to play because I want to play the next Xenoblade. Excellent. But I also have 200 hours left to spend with this game. So.
Yeah, great. Well, okay, you go and do that in a second. And thanks so much for coming on. Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles X or Cross, whichever way you want to, Xeno. I'm not here to judge. Let us know what you think of that game. Are you finally going to buy a Wii U? Hey? All you tens of millions? Do it. You already own the other consoles anyway, right? Maybe not the Xbox One. Do it. Do you own an Xbox One?
No.
Yeah, see?
But I have access
he
to
laughs.
one. I have access to one, though.
You've access to one.
Yeah.
I have access to to these nuts? What? What? Mary Kish. Oh, wait, was that Mike who said that? Yeah?
They sound very similar.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, very dulcet tones of Mary Kate. We're going crazy here because it's the last day of the lobby on this beautiful, beautiful set. Hopefully I get this trailer right. Ed Sheeran? The video game? It's Guitar Hero. I mean, of all the trailers for it to end up being, it had to be fucking Rock Band. It couldn't have just been like PewDiePie's game.
It's unfortunate for you.
I don't know. We're all pretty busy this week. The running order is haunted this week. It says different games than what the trailers are. We'll just put it down to Game of the Year craziness. And Video Game Awards craziness. And PSX is on this weekend?
Shut up. Moving.
And Moving Floors. Is it Payday? And is it Payday Beers on Thursday?
It is.
We're probably going to need that.
I think so.
Yeah. If you don't know already, we're tearing down the lobby set after this, including our beautiful signature wall, which is never in shot. So we did a great job.
Hey,
there you go. Yeah, look. You can just see mixed written above your head.
Behind
I am
all
wicked.
the hair is...
Right there.
Who we have?
Sid Meier's name. That's the only one that's ever in shot. We're going to do a little tour of the lobby set when we're just at the end of the show before we finish up and break this thing down. But first of all, Mike Mahardy.
Yo.
What's going on?
I just finished playing Just Cause 3 for a while.
You did. You played it for a bunch.
Yeah.
You've played it all last week. You played it during the weekend. I see you're still playing it. You reviewed it for GameSpot.com as well. 8 out of 10. Rico Rodriguez is back, and still a bunch of fun, it sounds.
Yeah, it's not too different from 1 and 2 if you've played both of those. There are, people were asking me if it's necessary to have played both of those. I don't think so at all.
For the wonderful backstory of Rico
Yeah,
Rodriguez?
there's some rich lore.
Yeah.
Rich lore himself, isn't it? No. But there are callbacks to like returning characters, and obviously Rico himself is.
Yeah, I've completed both games. Could not tell you one other character that's in those old games.
Oh, I just
Story
finished
mode.
the game for like 35 hours, and Rico's in it.
That's the beauty of their having so much time pass between
Oh, yeah.
this and Just Cause 2. Was it like 2009? I want to say or something.
Maybe 8.
Pretty far, maybe 8, maybe that far
Somewhere.
back. Great games. So, what's similar? What will fans of the series experience in Just Cause 3 that they're used to? I'm guessing you liberate a lot of settlements.
Yeah, it's very much still just a sandbox in every way. It's
Good start.
you can fly jets into statues. You can, hijack jets. You can fly helicopters into buildings and then wingsuit out and tether another helicopter to the ground and pull it in.
Rico can take a fall as well, I believe.
Oh yeah, I fell from about 550 feet.
That would
at
kill
one
most
point.
people.
It would, and then, but a lot of times you get shot too much. Obviously, you're gonna die, but he still can take a lot of damage, which is good. I appreciate that because I don't really want to die in this game. I want to blow things up, and it's not like. It's actually not as thoughtless as it looks. Like Rob was playing it a lot, doing all our video work for it, and he cut the video review, and he was, like I was going through the story missions, but I think Rob largely ignored those and just pretty much opted to experiment with the tether and everything, and he was doing some crazy shit that I wouldn't even thought of, which is the great thing about this game.
Let's talk about that then for a second. So the obviously we're used to him being able to jump from vehicle to vehicle. That used to be the sort of the bit in Just Cause. Now you can tether objects together and sort of retract them, and that you've got the mines can be upgraded to have rockets put on them and stuff like that. Do you use that in combat much?
The tether definitely. I mean, when you first get it, you can tether, like, if an enemy's shooting at you, because in this game, guns are actually, like, the most boring way to fight people. But you can tether someone to the ground behind them and then pull them, or just pull two guys into each other, pull an explosive barrel into someone. So it's really helpful. In the heat of the moment, I think I resorted to guns, but the game is really fun when you can just kind of plan something out and put mines all over the base before they know you're there, and then fly out and start grenade launching them from the parachute, and then detonate everything, and then watch people go flying all over the place.
It's also fun to hijack butts.
Yeah, hijack them or put the rocket things?
I mean, you're hijacking it one way or another, aren't you?
I guess so. You're claiming it for your own when you launch someone into space by their butt cheeks.
If they said that in the game, I'm not sure it would have passed its EOS or B rating.
Probably not, no.
Do you know if you buy this game, you stand a chance of winning an island?
What?
That's on the cover of the box.
Really?
Purchase this game for a chance to win an island.
It's not Ireland, is it?
No.
They better not be doing that.
That'd be...
I'm going to write a letter.
That would suck.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Probably like somewhere in Fiji.
Some kid in Montana just wins Ireland. That would suck.
And then he's in charge.
Doesn't look anything like this either. It's raining the whole time. Peter, what is it about, Just Cause 1 and 2 came out, they were sort of on the, that whole Xbox 360 open world game, like the dawn of that sort of, that genre really exploding. Like we'd had games like GTA, but off the back of this and Infamous and Crackdown, and we're just so used to them now. Like the open world is just, it's not even a genre, it's just the way games are. What do you think it is about Just Cause 3, which is essentially it looks rather like Just Cause 2 and 1, that makes it still so appealing? Because people are so looking forward to this. Like we see it in the comments, we see it all over online, and forums and Twitter. Like people are so looking forward to this. What do you think it is about Just Cause 3 that has this lasting appeal?
It goes back to what Mike was describing, right? There are so many tools that expand your possibilities to do and experience new things, and very few limitations upon those tools. And it's, the fact that you can create a series of events that chain together so perfectly, and that it works so well without any air of seriousness. I mean, this is ridiculous, and they've unlocked all this ridiculousness, and that works so well, where so many games take themselves very seriously and perhaps say, oh, we don't want you to do this, or we don't want you to do that. This, you can blow up anything. You can blow up anybody. You can make them blow up into each other. It's just amazing to me how far you can go in this game before you hit a wall that is that's not possible.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. It's like their line for what's acceptable or possible is pretty far.
Yeah, and they've totally upgraded the extent of your capabilities.
Look at this nonsense.
I know. There was a Jeep tethered to that jet.
That was Rob also.
I believe at one stage, Rob, I like the idea of
fun.
tethering a helicopter to the ground. He picked up a rocket, he picked up a tank and then dropped the tank out of the air, jumped out of his plane into the tank, and then drove the tank around the base.
And then blew up the tank after he was done.
Yeah, he attached the rocket mines previously.
Oh, right.
Like before everything.
And then used it to detonate it. Let's talk about where this game falls short, I guess, which is sort of, you were alluding to the fact that Rob basically didn't do much of the campaign stories because he wasn't really into it. In your review as well, you weren't too hot on the campaign.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting a great story, and I don't hold it against them. The story served its purpose. They say, like, go blow up these rebel bases, and then they add on, like, we'll rebuild whatever we need to. So that's pretty much just saying, Rico, there's no such thing as collateral damage. Just go do whatever you want. So
we'll just rebuild all those people we can kill.
And those, like, $2 billion, that whole continent pretty much. And that's actually not that expensive of a continent, but...
It's not a continent, it's an island.
Right.
It's not go crazy. They're not giving away a continent on the box.
Yeah, I know, that'd be crazy. Because then...
Hope it's not Europe.
You could get Antarctica. But yeah, it's just, but the actual gameplay of the scripted missions themselves, which are, they're not essential to playing. You could avoid them. But in order in order to unlock certain abilities and certain vehicles, you do.
Right.
You'd still have fun without doing it, but those really were very repetitive. There are a lot of escort missions, and the AI companions. Like obviously, we all love escort missions as it is.
Yeah.
But no, I'm kidding. But the AI companions themselves are pretty inconsistent. They'll sometimes die right away. The checkpoints will have you. They'll reload you at previous checkpoints after someone just screwed something up that was clearly not your fault at all.
Right. Frustrating. I guess lastly, let's talk about, there's been a bit of blowback today on the internet about performance, which always tends to be, we can't really tell if there's a lot of people experience it or not. Me and Rob did a GameSpot plays earlier today and we got some frame rate hitching on the PC, but he hadn't really optimized the settings for it. What did you play this on, and did you find any sort of graphical stuff? It's a bit of a powerhouse, right?
Right. I played about 30 hours on PC, and then I played another between like 2 and 4 on both Xbox One and PS4. Consoles are PC's noticeably better. The frame rate dipped a lot more on consoles. It was nothing that would actually have affected my score on individual platforms, but it was less of a frequent issue on PC because PC it's a really good-looking game, especially when you're over the water and everything. But every once in a while on all platforms, the scripted missions again would not trigger correctly. So you have to like steal this tank at one point, but the boat itself. And it wasn't like the part of the script. The boat itself just would be floating away as you're trying to drive onto it. Right. And then the next time it'd be fine, but then I went to play it again on PS4, the same thing happened.
Wow, okay.
And
consistent bugs.
Yeah, and that's like a kind of a bummer because a lot of the reason I was looking forward to this, aside from the fact that it was another excuse to play a Just Cause game, is because as opposed, this is like the PS4, the Xbox One, as opposed to the Xbox 360. So like the less of like technical limitations was a big draw for me with this. Because I was like, well, what can I do that we have this much more capability on the consoles?
God knows what the modders are going to do on PC as well.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Just Cause 3 in 2016 is going to be super dumb. Peter Brown, Mike McHardy, thank you so much for coming on, talking about that video game. Is that the last big release of 2015 then, in terms of the review team?
Rainbow Six Siege. Scott's working on that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the last, big game of the season. But dude, it's gearing up again in February with an onslaught of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff
pushed.
pushed.
I can't even remember because this week is crazy.
Yeah, and we're also concentrating on 2015 with our Game of the Year coverage as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be nuts. Let us know what you think of Just Cause 3. Are you excited to play it on PC, or are you going to pick it up on console? Let us know if you think it's maybe a late contender for those Game of the Year awards as well. Maybe creep on in there. Put your thoughts in the comment box below. All right, we're almost done here. I want to remind people that we have this. I don't know where Halo Reach is gone. I think, or Fall of Reach. Here it is. We're not giving away Halo Reach. Don't worry. That's not what's happening here. Quick reminder to everyone who's watching live. Right now, you can win one of 10 Blu-rays of Halo: The Fall of Reach, which we're giving away here. Includes a free digital comic. Who knows what formats it's in? Only 10 of you will ever figure it out. Hashtag The Fall of Reach. Make sure you tweet at GameSpot while the show's on, so you've only got about 5 minutes left before you can get a chance to do that. And you can win one of these. Where's that green screen thing gone, actually? It's gone. Is it gone? Has it disappeared? Peter, look behind you. Is there a dumb thing?
Nope.
There's not.
Wait,
is there no dumb thing?
You mean Mike?
No. Where's the green thing? I want to see it. Josh Shaw put all this effort into this hot technology. Where is it? It's behind Peter.
Where?
Peter, it's there.
Oh, it's over here.
Yeah, pick it up. Pick it up and show the folks Halo Reach. Ooh, look at it. Ooh, look. That's great.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. Rotate it. Technology. That's actually pretty impressive.
That's pretty good. But wait, if I go like this.
Oh, sick. Can we put something real dumb up there?
Something dumb, quick.
Something
Make me look dumb. Dumber than I already look.
Oh my God, I can't believe Oprah Winfrey is on the lobby with us right now. I can't believe you're here, Oprah, and you're a square. Peter, you're going to have to do an Oprah voice. No, up it goes. Can't believe you're here. Yep, sure. Oprah Winfrey. Is that Rocket League, Cat? Is that right? Yeah, do it. Perfect. Yeah.
Oprah
Keep going.
Winfrey.
Oprah. Oh.
I'm just trying to salvage the situation.
It's great. You're looking great, Oprah. I especially like that white bar. Oh, wait. One white bar. Jesus. How long have we had that thing? Too long. We've never used it? Beautiful thing.
Can I stop being a cat now?
You can stop being a cat now.
But the cat will.
Do you want to? Should we do a little tour? We do a little tour of the set. We're gonna. Jesus Christ! It's terrifying. We're done here on the lobby set. Almost. We're recording some videos. I'm gonna make sure I put this on properly. Not sure if they can hear me. We're. You guys can just stay there.
Yeah.
Because you're tethered. Because we only have one wireless mic, so you can just.
I'll hang out here.
Do a little tour. Andy Bauman. It's got a Steadicam in the background. What's going on? Yeah, we're ripping this bad boy up. Actually, first of all, Andy, turn the hell around because this is the old set. This is the $1 million. Wait, is Warren going to be sawing it? Warren Dog. Warren Goff here. How you doing, buddy? OG GameSpot. I remember watching you on Olds on the spot when Rich was hosting, and your name in the credits.
Yeah. Random guy.
Which was yeah, exactly. Which was of course over on the main set. You designed, you built our.
I did with the help of Mary and Nea and everybody.
Yeah. The old sets.
Try to put it together.
Yeah, maybe give us a hand with the new one as well.
Maybe.
Downstairs. Were you part of when they built this one?
Yeah.
As well.
Was here.
This thing cost $1 million, I heard.
At least.
At least. So these things apparently are like it's the squares are so that the computer can track the sort of the motion. Yeah, because it was Chris used to host here on a desk, but it was like a digital set, which is pretty crazy. The virtual set, yeah. So they kept the wall up, but we haven't used it. Not in my time, anyway. This is where we record, obviously, a bunch of the old GameSpot plays and Mary doing her crazy horror streams and whatnot. And then this thing over here, this bad boy. How long has this been here now, Mary? It's like 2 years, maybe. I think the boys are sitting there. This is, I'm not sure, can we even see behind this thing? We can't take it down now because we're doing one more video on it. This is the best thing on the set, by the way. Kingpin, Life of Crime. I think this is Dan Mahorik's poster. It's like the dumbest thing ever. It doesn't have anything to do with the game. Behind this wall, actually, can we actually go around?
It's all fake.
Can we go around? It's all fake. It's all fake. It's just what. No, we can't kick it. We're doing one more video after this. Did Anthony Roman build this?
Yes, Anthony built that.
Who's the dude who does all the brilliant thumbnails and graphics on GameSpot. He built this. We put all this dumb stuff in here. We got some hot big rigs over the road racing here, of course.
Ryan Mac tried to make one.
Oh, really? Did Ryan try one and it didn't work out?
It didn't look as good.
This is all just free tat we get. I especially like this weird see-through fucking Big Boss. I think that is. That looks like Snake Eater. Oh no, I don't know. Maybe it's 5. Did Big Boss have an eye patch in Snake Eater? No, did he have his eye? No, he didn't. All right, that's probably 5 then. Dovahkiin, the world's worst Fallout thing. It's $50, and it feels like it. We had to pick all these games for what we wanted to go here. So it's actually a pretty good collection of games. These are all empty. We have them all in the library. I'm not sure if we're keeping any of these actually. Some Xbox One stuff in here. We got some PSP games. I think we made a point of getting all like 10 out of 10s GameSpot did over the year in here. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 is here. Half-Life 2 is there. I didn't get 10 out of 10. I got 9.6 there. World of Warcraft's here. Another 10 out of 10 on GameSpot. All those hot SWAT 4. Andy Bauman knows. It's that hot video game you need to play. We've also got Kane and Lynch, I think, in here as well. All those hot references. Yoshi's here. This thing never really came together the way we wanted it to.
That was a mistake.
The heads. Because Predator was put on and it was like, it's not really a video game thing, but...
That was a bad idea.
Yeah, whatever. A bad idea we never took down. I keep forgetting he's here. And it wasn't until we got the Vault Boy one that I was like, oh yeah, Bethesda has this ridiculous budget of sending massive statues to like everyone and every GameSpot or GameStop in the country. I did it. God damn it. And then the last one, Warren, you did this. This is your work.
Oh, no, that's not my signature.
No, not your signature. The signature wall. All of game developers and internet peoples. Something's already falling apart as the whole building's going. Vince Zampella. So if you want to steal anyone's identity for any developers, that's Vince Zampella's. Peter Molyneux is here. We got Nathan Vella, who apparently is a garbage gamer. I don't know who wrote that. Eric Pope, I think, did. Bless you, Mary. Gabe Miller. The IL2 Sturmovik guys decided to. This is what they did. This when there was like no names on it at all. They just decided to write hardcore with passion across the whole thing. Yeah, some great stuff here. Alex Jabali. Keith Lee. Yes, of course. Hashtag sick layups. Was that Sean? Sean McInnes when he left. Yeah, when he went up to Seattle, we let him write something, and of course he tainted the wall. Teresa Derringer, I think, has done the best one here for Cannon Brawl. That's pretty good. Greg Miller, of course, a friend of the site. Counter Spy. I Am Bread. Who? Combo Fiend. Combo Fiend's there. Up there. I Love DP. John Carnage from Twitch. John Vignacchi wrote it there. Sid Meier, just hanging out there with Mike Bithell. All those great ones. Oh my goodness, here we go. There's that OG.
What's up?
Let's GameSpot.
Old shit.
Where'd you find that?
Remember that big noise you heard just a second ago?
Yeah.
That was me getting it from the other side of this wall.
Is there any of that old stuff still there?
Yeah, there's like, we should. I don't know what kind of range you guys got, but like because this used to be, there used to be this curving wall that was the set of On the Spot.
Yeah, is it still behind there?
Yeah.
Okay, come on. Let's kick we can't kick the wall there. We got one more video to do. You guys having fun? Yeah. Yeah.
We do have the moss.
Yeah, I think it has moss. Is that from a Call of Duty stream we did? All this shit. This is the same. This is the oh yeah, you guys never get to see this. This is the production room. What's up?
What's up?
Eric Tay.
You gotta increase your range apparently.
Oh really?
Yeah.
They want you to be able to go around. I think we're alright.
Come over. What we got back here? Is this the wall? Oh yeah, look at this. We might need some lights back here. We got. I think you can make it here.
Oh, you're still good.
Yeah, he's got slang.
I'm still good, you guys. I'm still good.
It's got this on it now because they sometimes get these like decals or whatever and like paint over the top of it. What's up, Neha?
Hey.
We're doing our last tour of the old set.
The Batman cave or the Bat cave.
Was this what this was? This is the Batman thing? Oh, so it wasn't Call of Duty.
Man.
Yeah. So this is the old set. This is the old On the Spot one, just hanging out in the back. What are these things? Jesus Christ. There's so much stuff here. Yeah, so it's all getting torn down. Not taking any of this stuff.
The outside of this wall, but I can't.
Is there any? Can you see any of this
There's
stuff here?
There's some sick logos back here.
Oh my God.
Videogames.com.
So that used to be like a window, like a fake window type thing.
Oh right, this is see-through.
You could light it in the back.
Yeah, you could light it.
Videogames.com. Right there, in this awful sunbright thing. Dan Mahoric.
get over here.
Dan. Person who's worked here longer than 540 Club shirt as well. How long have you been working here?
9.5 years.
The thankless job of setting up wall stuff in the back.
Thankless, but
You get some Destiny hats.
yeah.
Rapping.
Sick Destiny.
Yeah, you were working when this set was
When
being
this
used
was
and stuff.
new.
Right?
When
Oh
this-
really?
When this came in new. This whole set lights up on the bottom. It all plugs in. We used to replace all of these banners. We
Yeah.
had tournament TV.
Oh yeah.
We had
Button mashing?
Button mashing,
Yeah.
both 1 and 2. We had Today on the Spot. We had GameSpot Sync. We had On the Spot again.
Yeah.
We had Videogames.com. See, this is the only thing that has Videogames.com on it.
Is it the only one?
Yeah.
And all this is getting tossed?
I'm keeping this.
Keeping this? Yeah, putting it up in your bathroom.
Put it on me.
Should we bring it on set? What's this? What is this?
That's Brian Eckberg's hat.
Oh, is it really?
Tired in the rafters when he stopped
Really?
hosting.
Oh no! Would you just pull it down?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it smells like it's been in the rafters. Shout out to Brian Eckberg. We'll see if Forza Motorsport 6. Oh my God, Ben's leaving with the only.
This is a leftover from E3 2008 down in Santa Monica.
Oh God!
Yeah.
2007.
2007.
Yes.
There you go.
The weird one that was on the boardwalk when they tried to downsize E3.
Yeah, this has been in my office.
Wait, it was in Justin Calvert's office,
Yeah.
and then it was in my office, and now it's going to whoever wants it. So, I gotta figure out.
Yeah. Hashtag
If you want this
GameSpot surfboard.
then let us know. But it's actually.
How much slack do we have for? Oh, is Alma here?
No.
Is Alma here?
Can you just peek
She
around
is.
the corner?
By the way, just so people don't talk when we're actually broadcasting, we have Alma here. What's her surname again? Fettel? Paxton Fettel's mother, not daughter. In Fear, First Encounter, Assault, Recon. Yeah, so we put Alma there, so nobody fucks with us. What you got? We got.
He's got something.
Just this.
Can I drag it over?
This logo bar on the wall.
It's so dumb.
It's so just like peek.
You're done.
Yeah. Can you just peek around
Dropping
the corner
it.
with
You're done.
I got no more
You're
cords.
done.
All right, let's go back in. Let's go back in. Come on, everybody.
You're done.
I wonder if Mike and Peter are still hanging out back here. Yeah, you there? You guys are such good dudes. Just no, you're not. Oh, you are here.
I don't know where Peter went.
Sorry, I should have moved that. Sweet.
What an adventure.
What a video game adventure. What else is here? Look at this. Oh, Jesus.
Oh my god. No.
What did you find?
Go that way. You can go through the control room.
I have never seen.
Great. All right, I guess that's it for live shows from here, the third floor on CBSI's building. The Time Trotters room we also didn't get to see. That's somewhere else, and we didn't get to say hi to everyone who is who's working hard at the moment. We've got all the Game of the Year stuff happening this week. You crazy kids. We're almost done. We've got one more video to shoot here after the show. We're going to get a bunch of the report cards for various consoles up on the site in the next coming days. But yeah, from everyone here, for who's new faces and old faces and middle faces and foreign faces and faces you don't get to see, which is Mary in the background, who does so much work to do this show every single week. Thankless job.
Show Josh.
And Josh. Where's Josh?
Let's go, Josh.
Go see Josh. Go wave at Josh. Josh never gets to do anything. He's probably playing Rocket League.
Go.
Let's do it.
There he is, Josh Shaw, Master Director. Do some hot directing. Yeah.
Is that Rocket?
Josh, you can hear Josh, but what he wants you to know is Destiny sucks, and Rocket League is the best game of the year. Game of the year. We can do it. All right, that's the show, everyone. Thanks so much for everyone who's been watching. GameSpot here on the third floor. We'll be back in 2016 with more hot live video game coverage on a new floor and a new set. So until then, stick around for all our Game of the Year stuff. And we will see you. Yeah, there, I got a sick transition. We almost done Fade to Black? All right, we'll see you in 2016.